Hey, welcome back YouTube. Thanks for joining me again on this Deck Tech Cyber Guide gameplay. Today we have a mono black Ugin deck. I like to call it Dark Ugin, but we have a mono black Ugin deck here. Um, I played it in primarily in a best of one, but I have a sideboard also, so you can play it in a best of three if you choose to. It's up to you. It's your choice if you like best of one or if you like best of three. But it's a very solid deck. We currently have it as a what is it, 78 win percent, which is really great. Out of I think like 15 matches or something. No, 18 matches. So we're currently doing out of 18 matches, pretty good. Here's the stats on it really quick. So mono black, 14 and 4, roughly around an 80% win rate. It's pretty good. As you can see, it's the same deck here, but yeah, it's a very solid deck. Um, yeah, but before we get into the whole deck tech and why I'm running all the copies and what I'm running and why I'm running everything, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification so you know when I put up new videos. There's gonna in the description of the video you'll have the link, the Stream Decker link. You'll see you can export this easily to Arena. You'll have my Twitch account, so if you want to watch me, follow me on Twitch when I stream live. And you'll have other stuff. You'll have a little bit of description about the deck and everything. But yeah, check the description, drop some comments down below if you enjoy this deck, if you try this deck, give me some advice, suggestion if you do any changes, whatnot. But make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get into this deck tech. All right, so like I said, we play this in the best of one. We're 14 and 4 so far with the deck. That's ranked. We've played with it off outside of rank, and we've won I think like another 3 matches outside of rank. So we're something like 17 and 4 with the deck. It's a little over 80%, which is very good. But it only records obviously ranked matches on Untapped. So but yeah, it's we played it mainly as a best of one deck. I do have a sideboard, so if I played as a best of three, I do have a sideboard. I'll help you out. And at the end of the video, you'll have the sideboard guide. So look at that at the end of the video if you want to look at that sideboard guide. But let's get into the deck right now. So we play 2 Bloodchief Thirst here. This is a low early interaction removal, and we need something against planeswalkers, so we run 2 of these. We don't really run more than that because, like I said, we have other ways of killing creatures. We have intervention, we have eliminates, we have murderous riders, nightmares, for extinction, Hagu Mauler, massacre worm, Ugin. But we use this mainly as the just in case like a planeswalker hit. So if we're playing against another Ugin deck, we can use this to kill planeswalkers. Obviously, we have murderous rider too, but cheap inner removal is very good. We don't really have anything we could do on turn one, so that's something we could do for turn one. 2 Cling to Deaths because rogue decks are brutal. Rogue decks are brutal. Rogue decks are brutal. And if you get this out either in your graveyard or in your hand early into the game, you're really good against rogues. Like it's solid. Like you need to. So that's why we run 2. Originally we had 3 in the list, but 3 kind of got clunky against other decks when we didn't play against rogues. So 2 seemed like it seems like a pretty good fit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, 2 looks like it'll be good. 1 Erebos intervention we could generate or ramp pretty quickly. Not quickly, but we could ramp. And so 1 Erebos is really good here because it'll either gain you life or it'll exile cards out of the graveyard. But either way, since we're kind of a semi-ramp deck, this card's very good. It's an instant speed. It removes, escape cards. It against rogues, you can exile your own graveyard, so that way they don't have their rogues active. And then, like I said, it's a removal spell with life gain. So one of those. 2 black lands Paragon. So the purpose for this card is against creature-based decks. So if they attack with like a Love Struck or something like that, we go flash this in, give it Death Touch and lifelink. We go block a 5/5, gain 3 life, and kill their creature. It's a 2-mana creature. But yeah, this is mainly against creature decks as a way of flashing, and it's a kill spell pretty much for 2 mana with lifelink. So that's why we're doing 2 of these. I don't know if I want to bring this up anymore. I'm trying it out as a 2-of to see how it works. It's cute in a sense where if it works, it's great. If it doesn't, it's pretty bad. So we'll see what happens. Where it's a 2-of, we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, it's mainly there against like Gruul or against, I guess, what is it, green food or something like that, to flush it in, block their creature, gain some life, and kill it at the same time for 2 mana. 2 eliminates, play against creature-based decks. This is instant speed removal. Most of the creatures being played right now are like 3 costs or less anyways, so 2 mana removal, very great. We don't really have much more than that because, like I said, we have a ton of removal already. So, especially with Nightmare, it kind of almost does the same thing as this, but almost, but not really because Nightmare can't kill Lovestruck Beast. But so 2 of those. 4 Maze Mind Tomes were single color deck. We needed the draw power, we need the scry effects, we need the life gain. This card's amazing in this deck. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great as we play the matches. It's great in all kind of, this is kind of a control deck. So Maze My Tome is great in all control decks. 3 Nightmares, once again, rogues are a pain. This card's amazing against rogues. It kills their creature. It takes a counter spell or a draw spell out of their hand and then exiles the graveyard, so Loris and a DM's Awakening and stuff like that becomes useless. This card's amazing. Most of my decks, I usually, black-based decks, I usually run 3 in the main deck, and so that's the same case here. I'm running 3 here. For 4 Murderous Riders, instant speed removal, kills creatures, kills planeswalkers. Worst case scenario, afterwards we cast it as a 2/3 and use it as a lifelinker, but it's mainly there for the removal, cheap interaction removal. 4 extinction events, obviously that's core. Too much Gruul, too much food decks right now, so you need a way to exile their creatures. Exile is a big clause because against Troll King you need to exile Troll King so they can't keep bringing it back. Hog Mauler I did 2 of because it acts as a land and it's a removal. I don't think I really want to do more than 2 here because the land part of it comes in tapped, and that could be a problematic card if you're playing all. Luckily all our other lands don't come in tapped, but if you're playing a bunch of tap lands, then you're not really playing things on curve, and that could be bad. But like I said, it's instant speed removal, and that's why we have 2 of them in there. Solemn, we're kind of a black colorless deck in a sense, you know, Ugin. So when we minus Ugin, this stays around. This also ramps us. This also draws us card. 4 Solemns, yep, I would keep that at 4. If you want to take it down to 3, you can, but I want to try that 4, see how it works. So Massacre Worm here is, we're trying this out as our top curve, as in besides Ugin, because it can clear the board, and then since we're running so much removal in the deck, it could clear the board and make them start losing life. And that's the reason why we have it in here, because of the fact that we have so much removal. And like I said, it does -2/2 to all their creatures. And against, like, in best of 1, you know, what is it, red decks, it wipes their whole board while they take, you know, something like 6 to 8 life. And then once you start killing more and more of their creatures, it just wipes their board. And most decks can't kill this card effectively unless you're playing against like another black kind of deck, or white, because they have Elspeth's Nightmare or something like that, or Shatter. But yeah, we're trying it out, see how it works. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, we can easily cut this. 4 Ugins. It's an Ugin deck, Dark Ugin. I like to call this deck Dark Ugin now. So it's an Ugin deck. So 4, obviously. The lands, you know, they're pretty much there. There's something really. I was thinking of maybe 2 of this in the main deck, and maybe like 3 and 2, but we'll see what happens. If this doesn't really help us out very much, we'll put this up to 2 and then bring this down to 3. But yeah, 2 castles, lands, Crawling Barrens you have to keep as a 4, I believe. You're a single color deck, so Crawling Barrens shouldn't get in the way, and it's an amazing card. It's a win condition, so yeah, don't change anything. I would never change Crawling Barrens as a down from 4. 2 Fill the Ruins. We have 2 Fill the Ruins because we want to deal with other Crawling Barrens, other Castle of Lockwids. Like I said, we can go in, it's a single color deck, so it shouldn't get in our way. But so that's the main deck. The sideboard, another Cling against rogues. Duress and Agonizing Remorses are against control decks. So that way, in best of 3, we can take out like our removal, like Extinctions, Blood Cheese, Eliminates and stuff like that, and bring in, Hand Disruption. Epic Downfall is mainly, it's obviously you could use it against Gruul and food, but it's mainly there against kind of food. You can exile their Troll King for 2 mana, and that way they can't keep bringing it back. Heartless Axe, another early cheap interaction removal. Necromantia is against control decks, so like Blue Black Yorions, Esper Dooms, but mainly I put it into the sideboard against like the team of ramp decks. We call out Genesis Ultimatum, we call out other Ugins, stuff like that. So that's what Necromantia is there. And you're a mono black deck, you shouldn't have a problem casting this for 2 black. Shadow's Verdict, Gruul decks, obviously amazing card against Gruul. It just wipes their whole board completely and it exiles everything. And then, like I said, another Erebos. This is against rogue decks, against other creature decks. But yeah, so this is the deck. But let's see what happens. Obviously we're 14-4 with the deck overall. So let's go into the matches and see what's up. Let's see. We're on the play, or I mean, we're on the draw. I have a removal and a draw spell. That seems fine, especially since we don't know what we're playing against. So we'll give it a whirl. Most likely, since there's no companion here, that means it's probably going to be an aggro deck or some kind of creature-based deck. So let's see. Yep. So probably food. I mean, Extinction's good. Ugin's good. You just gotta try to keep them off a hinge. So that way Ugin could pretty much exile everything. That or also try to keep them off a, what is it? The Trail of Crumbs. Not the Trail of Crumbs. That card, the Witch's Oven. That's a bad card to see. Because our Ugin can't take care of that. Witch's Oven was bad. If they didn't have Witch's Oven, our hand would have been much better here. But I guess this helps us exile a Troll King if we ever comes down to that situation. Okay, opponent, what's happening here? What is happening here? So, I mean, they get to create 2 foods here because we're going to try to kill this card because that way we can keep them off hinge. And obviously now because of that too, otherwise he gets to start drawing cards. He gets to hit me for 1. You got it. So it's not great that they had the Witch's Oven. I believe they only run like 2 of those, and he had it. It's not great, but what are you gonna do, you know? So we force him to sack the with the oven. Yep. He gets great 2 food here. This helps him later down the road. So we're gonna play this as our land. Play Maze Mind Tome. Next turn play either Solemn, depending on what he throws to the board, or we just throw out an Extinction. We'll see. Taking another point. The good part is that he doesn't have Trail of Crumbs here, because with 3 food, that would be very bad. So he has an odd and an even. There goes another even. I'm hoping he throws out more even here, but I doubt it. And since he only has ooze, really, it's not really worth exiling even here because it doesn't do much. So instead, I'd rather just save it for, because he's gonna cast Wicked Wolf. That's a good card. But I think I might need a land here instead, especially since we have Ugin. Otherwise, that would be a good card. So I believe he's gonna cast what's it called, the Wolf here. And then we can play Extinction on evens, and since the Wolf is even also. Then we get to remove his Ooze, Token, and Wolf. Sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has technically 8 mana. Maybe, I mean, if the last two cards in his hand are land henge, well, then it's land henge, you know? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, land. Is it land henge? There, yep, see, there's that wicked wolf we were talking about. Sure. Now we can do even. We swapped it for 4 points of damage and to ramp us, so okay, sure. So we're gonna take 5. Okay, 4, 5, 6, and that land was good because we can use Maze Mind Tome also here. So we get to play land, play Extinction, and play Maze Mind Tome, or activate Maze Mind Tome to draw a card, I should say. So we're not going to use it here. Another Solemn though, huh? So Extinction even. He's gonna have to sack here now, which I'm sure he will, but because otherwise he has 3 even cards. So I mean, going to sack it. I mean, there's no reason not to here. Yep. Get some more food. We'll call out even. We can use Maze Mind Tome here now to draw, and he only has 1 card in his hand, so that's good for us. 3, 4, 5, 6. This will make it go 7. Ooh, that's bad. Because that we can't deal with. Sure. I mean, we could eventually deal with it, but we can't deal with it yet. We have a bunch of instant speed removal, so we can draw cards to deal with it. All right, and this gives us our Ugin mana. So take action, as well as being able to hold up Cling and use Mace Mind Tome in the same turn. So we're looking pretty decent at the moment. Obviously, they can draw something and like a, what is it called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They could draw a henge, and that still would be bad for us. What is does he? I have an extinction I can exile to draw a card, I guess. So he has 4, 5, 6. If he animates and attacks, will block, use Erebos to kill it. I doubt he's doing that. And if he casts something big here, actually, I don't know. If he casts something big, I don't. Okay. So is he just trying to... And then we'll cling our own extinction to draw a card. Okay, there's Murderous Rider, so we can start dealing with stuff. So do we even need Ugin to go out here? We have 3, 6, 7, 8. I don't even think we need to do Ugin, but obviously Ugin is amazing. I think we still do Ugin here and kill off this. We'll keep going upstairs with it to kill this off, and then since we have Rider and Eliminate, we could deal with the Crawling Barons. We don't have to, we're not gonna attack or block. We're not gonna attack with Solemn, obviously, so we can use it to block. If we do -2, we get to remove both of them, but I'd rather plus and gain some loyalty, so it goes up. And by it going up, it also allows us to minus henge later down the road. You can't activate that. I wouldn't have animated it, but okay. You don't have enough mana to do it. It requires 3 in itself, so technically, well, actually you do have 4 mana. Forgot Crawling Barons was your mana source. Alright, so that was nice. No attacks. So now if he does play henge, like I said, we can -9 and kill the henge. And that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to just keep it bringing, we were trying to bring it up so that we could do that against henge. If he animates Crawling Barons, we'll easily chump block this, draw a card, and then we could play another one plus on this and then hold up these. Questing Beast sucks. Questing Beast was the worst, one of the worst cards we can see. Literally one of the worst cards we can see. Because it takes away Ugin while putting pressure on us. Like I said, luckily we still have ways to kill, but that was like one of the worst cards to see. You don't have enough mana. It requires 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Fill the Ruins is another way to deal with Crawling Barrens or the Bonders. We'll see what we do with it. Either way, we'll see what we do. I mean, sack your Witch's Oven here. Or use it to Witch's Oven, sure. I'm just gonna kill this while we can, I guess. Doesn't really matter when we kill it. We're just gonna kill it regardless. And like once again, we're not going to attack results. 5, 6. I'm gonna hold up this/this. And we're not going to attack. I have Eliminate here, I can hold up, or I have Erebos Intervention. If he wants to try to animate this, we can use Fill the Ruin to kill it. That way he just spent 4 mana to do pretty much nothing. I mean, he could have floated a colorless source, but he did 4 mana to do nothing here. Sure. Yep. Let's draw a card. I don't know if the goose was something you're supposed to play there, but okay. Because I could just plus it, but I guess you could still sack it to Witch's Oven, but still, it's kind of weird. Still kind of weird. 4, so 8, 9. We have 9 mana. We're just going to start pumping up Crawling Barrens now. Which is why I played it. Like I said, I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to keep Ugin protected for the time being. Because Ugin's just going to win us the game anyways. I mean, he has a lot of food. But that's only going to do so much. And a Crawling Barrens just will keep going up. Eventually, it'll become its own threat. We'll play Radiant Fountain here to gain some life, just in case. And then I'm gonna cast this other Solemn to ramp up even more, so that way we can start doing Crawling Barrens more next turn. And since we have another Solemn in play, I'm gonna attack with the one I have currently in play. Start closing the game away. Make him start sacrificing his food to gain life. Yep. Yep. We are also holding up enough mana in case he draws a Questing Beast so we could kill it. That's the key part here. Holding up enough mana to against Questing Beasts just in case. Alright, well, food to draw the removal. Still plugging away with Blue-Black Yorion. Managed to Platinum 1 today. Had 2 insane games versus Rogue. Nice. Nice, good job. I'm saving, I usually save Blue-Black Yorion till the end when I'm looking to like ladder up. In the beginning, I always mess around with decks, test decks out and everything like that. So yeah, like the last 2 seasons, I've used Blue-Black Yorion to make top 1200 Mythic with it. But I didn't start playing the Blue-Black Yorion deck until like
I think it's like 3-4 days until the season was over, and then that's where I went from there. What are we playing against? What are we playing against? You're definitely getting lucky. I don't know, man. You're probably getting the hang of the deck a little more, so it's making it a little easier for you. Oh man, why do they always have that random card? I guess we technically need lands. I want to think that I picked up some tricks from you and improving. You probably did. Oh my gosh, Gruul, and they only run like I think they only run 1 or 2 of this, and he had an opening hand against my Maze My Tome. That's cool. Okay, unfortunate, but okay. He missed his land drop too, so he kept the interesting hand. I think I flash this in and then kill it on my turn instead, so I could do damage. Because I'm also trying to use up my hand in a sense, so that way I can start using castle here. We're both even, so that doesn't work. So let's do this for 3. I gained 3, hit him for 3. He kept a 2-lander, so let's see if that's going to pay off for him. We have Extinction, we have land 5, we will start using castle. We'll take 3. If we don't have anything to play or he doesn't have anything to play, we play Swamp here and then use castle. And then the following turn we'll have Massacre Worm. I guess the nice part about Massacre Worms, they only affects your opponent's board, so that's good. I think our opponent's missing land 3 again. He's probably going to use, yep, I was going to say he's probably going to use Bone Crusher to kill this. All right, so Maze Mind Tome or draw off this. I guess we take less damage by doing this. So, and since they're a aggro deck, you know, Gruul aggro, I don't want to take unnecessary damage here. And if I cast a 6/5 against them, especially since they're stuck on 2 mana, what are they going to do? Drew a land. He's going to hit me for 3. And that's why we didn't want to use castle here, because like I said, unnecessary damage could cost us the game. Let's see if we can hit. Oh, hold on. So I'm going to put a pause here because I want to see if I can hit my land so I can use it to kill this. Okay, so we drew our land, so we don't need that anymore. So now we can play this and kill this, and he takes 2, and we have a 6/5 against him. And now all his creatures that die, he's going to start taking more damage. I'm not sure they can kill a 6/5 in Gruul. Not 100% sure they can kill this. We'll see. I mean, he kept a hand. He kept a greedy hand, I guess, hoping that he would draw lands, and it didn't pay off. But maybe he drew a land here, and that's why he's playing Edgewall. Yep, he drew another land, but he's shocking. Yikes. Wait, when this says whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, this exiles? Oh, that doesn't work. All right, just gonna attack. If he double blocks, we'll eliminate the smaller edge wall. And then he'll still take 4. Sure. So we'll put the damage on this. Play. Eliminate on this. So he takes 2. I mean, come on. We attacked into your creature knowing what's going on. We attacked into your creatures knowing what we're going to do. That's not really nice. I mean, come on. Otherwise, I just play Extinction on odd, you know? He said nice. Like we weren't going to do that, you know? All right, so we're going to take less damage here. We're only going to take 2, so I'm going to activate Castle here. And keep the Maze Mind Tome for later to draw more cards. So, just wanted to make sure this guy, you know, just wanted to make sure his effect doesn't work when you exile. So now any creature, if his dies, we win. Okay, so we won. So we're giving this deck a little more testing to see how things work. PK Machinist. Opponent goes first. He's not revealing a companion, so he's probably some kind of aggro deck. We have a blocker, a kill spell, and then a possible mass removal. Okay. It might be. What if he's mirror match? I mean, that could be big rogue also. If he plays a blue land, nope. It looks like it might be mirror match. Darn. But he main decks Agonizing Remorse. I think the Shark one has potential. It has a lot of removal and Sublime Epiphany on a great Shark. It's surprisingly a pretty nice win con. Also plays 2 copies of Barons. I saw his tweet, I guess. What did he take? Oh, he took my Nightmare. I saw his tweet. I haven't got a chance to look at it, but I saw the tweet of it, of when he did the deck. So it looks like we're playing against oh no. He's playing the mono black version, the hand destruction version. Darn. I think we're bad against the hand destruction version. I posted this video. I made a hand destruction deck a few weeks back, I think, maybe a couple of weeks back. So, and it looks exactly so far like it. So it's not great against us because they're ripping our hand apart and they don't run creatures, so our removal is useless. And he got rid of, obviously, Rider here because of Ugin. So that makes sense. And we both have castle. He can use his Fill the Ruin, destroy one of my castles. If I could draw my Fill the Ruin to destroy his castle, would be nice. But luckily we have a Maze Mind Tome in play, so that will help us also draw cards. But this card's... okay, that doesn't do anything. He missed his land drop. So that's good for me. I guess he gets to get rid of an Extinction out of my hand. Wait, if he was gonna miss a land drop, I would have played this as my land then, because he almost had full information of my hand. Because turn 2 Remorse, like why wouldn't he? Sure, I would have played this as my land drop instead of missing a land, especially since you're an Ugin deck. Oh, he has all the room. He has okay. Guess we're drawing a card. Another land. Another land. Oh no. We're drawing land heavy now. Yeah, he should have played this. He should have definitely played this as his land, but sure. Now I kind of don't even want to use Castle because if we draw a spell, he just takes it out of my hand. But I'm still going to use it. Okay, so he gets to take that out of my hand. That kind of sucks. Or all right. Well, I mean, luckily we're ahead of him. We're at 6 mana. He's at 3 mana. He's going to take the Blood Chief here, so that way Ugin's less likely to die. What's up, dog? So use Castle, draw the card, and then use Maze Mind Tome to draw another card. Okay, there's our Crawling Barrens, and then use this to draw another card. But he has Fill the Ruin, so that kind of sucks. So 4, 5, 6. This will make it. We have our Ugin now. What up, big guy? Hey, how's it going, Sid? How's it going? I think I see you on. Oh, I saw you on Discord earlier. It looked like you were playing. All right, so what is he gonna do? Did he miss a land drop yet again? I got tired of losing. What deck are you playing? If you don't mind me asking, what deck and what rank are you in? So decline. Let's draw a card. Sucks to suck. No, you don't suck. No one sucks. Some people just draw better. Some people get luckier. Some people, no one really sucks. I guess I'd throw Ugin out. He can kill it, but I think that takes up his turn to do it too. And we're putting pressure on him. He has to have, what is it, that Blood Chief, and he used one of them. Oh, he has Murderous Rider. Okay. So then maybe I was supposed to save. No, because he playing the hand destruction black, so. And the same problem, it says my green and white homebrew is platinum tier 4. Same problem in platinum 4 last reset. Sometimes you just get really unlucky. This time I'm actually winning. So this is what I've gone off of platinum resets usually. So after the season resets, I've noticed that platinum is one of the hardest ranks to get out of um for like the next like week and a half. It's that hard to break out of platinum usually for a week and a half. That's what I've seen. I won 5 in a row and then lost 6 in a row. Then I won 1 and I quit. I think the mistake I made here was play 2 Solemns. Because now you can use Extinction Event and I don't draw any cards. So that was my misplay here. I shouldn't have casted both Solemns. I should have only casted one. Yep. Let's see. So 7, 8, 9, 10. But we get to hit him for 6 with Crawling Barrens, I guess. So he's down to 1. I can see that it was Gruul almost every game. Yep. Yep. Gruul is just, yep. Okay, he lost now. He should have used Field of Ruin to destroy McCrell and Barons. Should have used Field of Ruin to destroy my Crawling Barons. Yeah. He should have used Field of Ruin to destroy my Crawling Barons. I don't know what he was doing there. Platinum 1. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. Like, him casting that, he knows I have Extinction Event right off the bat because he saw my hand. See, it's a known card. So the fact that he casted Murderous Rider knowing that I have Extinction was bad because a colorless mana is not going to prevent me from doing Extinction and Crawling Barrens. So that was unfortunate for him, but I guess he was stuck on 4 mana. There's nothing he can do anyways, I guess. All right, let's see, man. Let's see. So we're playing some Dark Ugin. Guido Balaro or Balaro? I think it's Balaro. We have 4 lands, 2 Solemns, Extinction. We have life gain. We have removal. There's no companion revealed, so I mean I think it's fine. Obviously, if it's a aggro deck, like super aggro, then we might lose, but we're gonna try it. Okay, so blue-black. So are we playing against rogues or control? Well, another land is not great, but castle is good against control. So if it's a control deck, castle is good. It looks like it might be control since they haven't played a single card yet. Usually if it's rogues, they would have at least flashed in or played a creature now by now. Something like that, but it looks like it might just be control here. So our hand's okay against it because Crawling Barrens is good too. So Castle and Crawling Barrens, not bad, okay. I mean, obviously probably not resolving something next turn anyways, but he's probably just holding up counter Elspeth Nightmare. Okay, well, now we get to resolve our, yep, Solemn. Let's resolve this, and we don't care what he takes out of our hand because it's just a bunch of removal cards. So choose your poison. Choose your poison. Ooh, he misses land drop? Yikes. All right, let's go to combat first. That's good for us. Do I want to resolve this? Let's see. Worst case scenario, he counters it. I don't really care, I guess. Best case scenario, I get to put a light in play. All right, so he counters it. That's fine. Because I mean, like I said, we already got our effect once, so And we made him use, I mean, we don't really run creatures, but we made him use an Essence Scatter if that matters, so it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. He's at 4 mana, we're at 6 mana, we're ahead of him on mana. Oh, and he's using, wow, he's using a Blood Chief on Solemn. Okay, that's interesting. There's our Ugin. So we have 4, 5, 6. This will go to 7. So yeah, we just passed turn. We can't do anything. We can animate the other Crawling Barons to attack him, but I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to do it just in case, but hitting him for 2 when he's at 18 is not going to make a difference. So it doesn't really, I mean, doesn't make that much a difference. I'd rather just hold up mana just in case. So 4, 5, 6, 7. We go to 8. If this Ugin, I'm debating on if we play Ugin here, but I don't think we do that in open mana because I can, with 8 mana, I could just do double Crawling Baron. So I'd rather just do that. Eventually, he's going to have to do something since we're just constantly pumping Crawling Barons up. And if he doesn't have something to remove it at instant speed, then we'll just win the game. Let's diversify this so that way if he kills the big one, we have another one. Instead of putting all the counters on one Crawling Baron and he has a removal spell, we could put it on multiple Crawling Barons here and then be able to, win that way. All right, so it wants to tap our Crawling Barons, which makes sense because it's a colorless card. But we want to keep it up just in case. Shark. Oh, that's what we're playing against. We're playing against the Sharky deck, whatever it's called. The blue-black shark deck or blue-black control shark or whatever it's called. Okay. So it's odd. Let's extinction odd here then. Right? I think they play like Sublime Epiphany to constantly keep recasting the shark or something like that. So we're going to remove it just to be safe. Maze Mind Tome, sure. All right. Does this deck play counter spells? I know like Sublime or something, but that's 6 mana and they only have 3 up. The question is, do they play like Neutralize or something like that, or Negate or something? I believe the list didn't say please, but I'm not 100% sure. So, I mean, I'm just gonna go for it. If he has it, he has it. That sucks, but Crawling Baron Ugin. Crawling Baron's Ugin. I can also draw a card with Castle. This is tough. Whatever. Let's just go for it. We still have. All right. Oh, he has negate. Okay. We still have enough stuff on board anyway, since we're up ahead of him on mana. He doesn't get to use a tome to draw a card here. He has to use a scry effect. We have, double Crawling Barons. There's a Shark Typhoon cast. Okay. That's actually pretty good against us. All right. Well. So we might have to start animating the castle here and start hitting him for damage. I mean, because we don't have anything else we could do in our hand anyway, so. Or you can rip an Ugin off the top. Okay. I guess that's why my name is TopDecker, huh? You could just rip an Ugin off the top and remove the Shark Typhoon, I guess. Sure. That works too. Liking that, actually. We play 4 Ugins in a 60 card deck, but still. That was pretty lucky, I gotta say. That was pretty lucky on us. All right, Shark Typhoon, that's not gonna matter. We're just gonna plus on him and animate Crawling Barons and put the pressure on him here. We're just gonna do a bunch of massive damage here. It's gonna take him, so he's gonna take at least 6, 7, 8 here. Take action. So take another 8. You're down to 7. You're gonna have to be able to deal with Ugin and Crawling Barons. You can gain 4 lives, so I guess you go to 11. But that's lethal from just Crawling Barons and Ugin. So let's see if he has anything. So he's gonna draw a card and gain 4 life. Okay. So I'm assuming he doesn't have anything. Otherwise, why draw a card? I mean, why draw a card main phase is what I'm saying. I'm assuming he has nothing in his hand that can deal with anything. So, all right, yep, there we go. All right, we won. Nice. All right, let's go to our next match. Next match, Dr. Wattsman. Dr. Wattsman. No colored sources. We're on the draw. We play a ton of black mana, but still, no. All right, this is a little better. We have removal. We have a tome to draw spells. We have a flash. We have nightmare if he's a creature or a control deck. So I guess we just put Ugin to the bottom and keep the rest. At first hand would have been nice if we had some colored sources, but it was all colorless. All right, so white. So white off the bat. Okay. So maybe it can't be Esper Doom because there's no Yorion companion. Edgewall. So Selysna? Yep, Selysna Adventure. Okay. Selesnya Adventure. Alright, I think we have to kill this Edgewall because they use a bunch of adventure creatures in Selesnya, and we can't let that happen to let them draw cards. And Giant Killer doesn't do anything against our deck. I mean, we play what? Solemns and Massacre Worms? Like, it doesn't do anything. So, if we could draw a land here, that would be nice. Nice. Alright, there we go. Now we can Nightmare the Giant Killer here. We don't care about Chain Web. We don't run any creatures with flying or anything like that. I'm assuming they obviously main deck that because there's rogues that are pretty prominent in Best of One or something like that. So having access to it is pretty good. Legion Angel. That card's surprisingly good for... Ooh, nice. We get to take Vivian. Sweet. Let's see. We can play Maze My Tome. Draw a card. We could get hit for 5. We're at 20. Who cares? Yeah, we're at 20. Getting hit for 5 is fine. We also want him to throw we want them to throw out another Legion's Angel so we can use Extinction to get rid of both of them and get rid of 8 power on the board versus, 4 power. We get to draw a card and remove 8 power. So that's going to be a huge life swing or a huge, life swing slash whatever you want to call it, mana advantage, card advantage, field advantage, whatever you want to call it. It's a huge swing. And they have flying. We can't use Paragon. So we extinction the 2 angels here, call even. Next turn, we have the worm that can kill the chain web if we need to. Then I guess we're putting on a clock against them. We're hitting them for 6. They're hitting us for 4. Because we can't kill the angel here, so we could use Maze Mind Tome to bring it up just so we could gain some life here, just in case if we need to gain life. Solemn. I mean, it ramps us. We can't block the angel, but it does ramp us, and then it gives us the ability to either flash Paragon and use Maze Mind Tome. So that was my reasoning to maybe keeping it. He cast Worm here, kill the Chain Web, and then he takes 2, so he goes to 18. Or I could play Solemn. But I mean, like, the reason why I'm casting the Worm here is because, like, it's a clock. So he's at 18, I'm at 14, right? So I'm gonna go to 10 here. I can also gain 4 life from Tome down the road, but now I get to hit him for 6. So I have a 3-turn clock against him. He has a 3-turn clock against me, I guess, right? 8. No, he has a 2-turn clock against me. All right. So yeah, he has 8. We can't get up to 16. So okay. All right. But oh no, but we had what's it called? I forgot we have that guy. No, that was still technically no, because we had Solemn and Blacklands Paragon. So we hit him for 6 here. He goes to 12. We hit him for 3, 4, 5. We hit him for 11. Yeah, so we had him kind of on a 2-turn clock here with the Solemn and Paragon. So I'm going to cast the Knight here because it's a 2/3 body with lifelink. So if he hits us for 4, we go down to 4. Then we can attack back and hit him for 4. We're going to use Maze Mind Tome just to get it up to 3 counters. So that way we can also gain... Oh, well, never mind. I guess... I wonder what he takes. Maze Mind Tome or Rider? So he wants to take the lifelinker. Oh, that's a good card. I'll keep that. We have the ground locked up. And now we can take care of the flyer.
So we're gonna use this 100% likely. Well, we're gonna attack first, but 100% likely we're gonna use this on the angel, kill the angel, and if he has any like random shenanigans, we have Maze Mind Tome to gain 4 life. We also have Paragon as a flash card if we need to, but we can do Hog or Mauling, kill the angel, and draw a card is what we could do here. So let's see. Let's hold full control just in case. Attack. Tap our colorless or color sources, whatever. Colorless source. Kill the angel. Let's see. The reason why we're holding full control here, just in case, if he has like a protection spell, then we could draw off Maze by Atomic in life. Love Shrug, that's fine. Big Love Shrug, that's fine. I mean, it's fine and it's not because it gets a trade with our worm, but it's fine. Or I guess not anymore. He's at 2, so goodbye. Doesn't really matter. Oh, it didn't even matter if he traded with our worm because he loses the game regardless. It's like he's at 2. Never mind. All right, Dark Ugin. You can bluff having a spell to cast entering full control. I do that a lot. I actually do that a lot. It gives away a lot of information by not doing that in a sense. If you don't hold full control, sometimes you're like, oh, they don't have a counter spell. Like if I'm playing a control deck, they don't have a counter spell. So now that means I can resolve everything. All right, anyways, this hand was pretty decent. We have a removal, 3 lands, tome, extinction. There's no way we're not keeping this hand. So red, let's see. Are we playing against red? Are we playing against Gruul? Or are we playing against Teamer Adventure? Let's find out. Well, double red means it's red. So we're playing against red deck ruins or whatever it's called. Mono red burn, mono red whatever. We're playing against red. All right. I mean, the mana play would be use Murderous Rider to kill it. We can use Eliminate. We can even flash Paragon and block. Hopefully he doesn't have a shock or something. 2, 4, 5. He has 6 cards in his hand, so he's not gonna be able to use Robber's Effect on against us. He has 6 cards. Yeah, so I'm debating here if I use the Rider of or I use Eliminate. Because the Eliminate can't kill Torbrand, and he's at 3 mana already. Whereas Rider can. Bone Crusher, sure. Scry, we need a land. Ugin, we don't need. We need a land. Okay, and it gains us life too. Sure, that's perfect. Perfect. Perfectino. Back up to 20. Back up to 20. All right, so that's another odd creature. Sure. We could take 4, 5 here and then extinction on odd. I could force him to use a burn spell here actually first. I'm pretty sure he has a shock or a bone crusher. So we use this. Yeah, there it is. So we're going to take 5, then we extinction event. Oh, yes, Rimrock. Yep, Rimrock. All right, so we're taking 7, and then we use extinction event. There's our land drop. So extinction odd. And worst case scenario, if he didn't have shock or bone crusher there, we could have blocked the bone crusher and gained 3 life and traded with it. Yep, bone crusher. I'm assuming bone crusher Rimrock. Yep. Let's scry. We need lands. 2, 4, 5. We have 2, 4, 5. This would be mana number 6. We can use Murderous Rider, kill the creature, and cast the Murderous Rider. I would keep it for that. So we can use Murderous Rider's effect, kill one of these cards if we wanted to, and then cast Murderous Rider. So let's kill the Bone Crusher. We take 2. Resolves. And then we could cast Murderous Rider and block the Rimrock. We're at 9. We gain 4 from Maze Mind Tome. So we're at 13. If we trade here, we go up to 15. I'll take this trade. Once you have Embercleave, I'll take this trade. Okay, champion. Why didn't he cast champion pre-combat? Interesting. Okay. So that was a good draw. I'll take it. It ramps us. I mean, I'd prefer our land too. We're gonna use Tome here because we haven't played our land drop. So if we draw a land, then we can play it and play Ugin next turn. Oh, there you go. See, if I would have used this at end step, then I would have drew I would have drew a tap source, and then I couldn't play it anyways till the following turn. So Ugin would have been a turn late. So 1-2, he can use castle here. Hit me for 4. I'm at 15. I don't think I block any one of these because I'm gonna take 4. Who cares? I go to 11. I'm at 15. Then I can cast Ugin and wipe the board. And my Solemn survives. Yeah, use your castle. Yep. I take 4. That's fine. We're at 11. Yep. Now we cast Ugin and we win the deck. I'm pretty sure we win here. Minus, what is it, 1? I don't think we can lose here now. No attacks, protect Ugin, protect our life total. And every creature he casts now, we can either block or plus it. Yep, there we go. There we go. Victory. Alright, some Dark Ugin. Click a phase in either player's phase bar. Oh, to put the stop, I guess. I'd rather just use full control. Terra Anasaur. Lurus. So I guess we're playing either against rogues or we're playing against the no, the white deck doesn't have rogues as their companion. I believe they just main deck the Lurus because they play the what is it? The white god or whatever it is. So we're playing against rogues. We have 2 lands. Cling is very good against rogues. Tome. Interesting. I'm pretty sure this is rogues just based off the companion Lurus. Because like I said, the mono white deck does not run Lurus as a companion. They run it in their main deck so they could run the white god. And Cling to Dust is huge against rogue. So we're going to keep. I'm pretty sure we keep this hand. We have Tome. 2 lands. Cling. We hit our land 3, land 4. We're solid, I guess. I think the Cling here by itself will probably win us the game, but we'll see. Yep, looks like it's rogues. All right. Okay, there's a nice land, and we get to play a Tome. We got land 3 for Crawling Barrens, for Murderous Rider, or we could use Mazemind Tome. Yep, now we could use Mazemind Tome / Cling to Dust if we wanted to. Scry. Take that, it's a land. Alright, I think I kill this Guild Enforcer here while I can so he can stop milling me. Especially since they're tapped out. So, because next turn I have Cling to Dust, I can exile cards out of my graveyard, or I could just play Solemn depending on what they do. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they mill also. Alright. Take 1, pass. Yep, resolves another land. Okay. I mean, we technically don't need it because we have our 4th land with Crawling Barrens, and then we have Solemn Extinction Event, so we technically don't need it. What's he looking at a graveyard for? What you got? Ooh, he's just adding Lurus to his hand? Alright. So he can't counter our Solemn here then, huh? Okay. So I'm pretty sure we play Crawling Barrens here, play Solemn, ramp up. So then the following turn we can play like a Cling and Extinction or something. And we also want to ramp it anyways because we have a Crawling Barrens in play and Mazemind Tome. So this following turn, since we're going to be at 6 mana, the reason why I ramped is because we'll go up to 6 mana, so we can play either Extinction and use Mazemind Tome to draw, or just use Cling to exile our graveyard, or use Cling, Mazemind Tome to draw. We could do multiple things, that's why. We could even cast Murderous Rider, use Mazemind Tome to draw, and play Cling. But either way, we wanted a ramp so we could get up on our mana. Alright, so we have 4, 5, 6. This is mana 7. I think I just hold up Cling and double Cling my graveyard. That way he can't use Wind Robber's effect to start drawing cards.
If I cast Solemn, I'm pretty sure it gets countered. I think it's just better to double Cling here. So we'll use Cling to exile a card out of our graveyard. Then we use the Escape to completely remove our graveyard. So there's no reason to cast a Solemn into that. And we're gonna do this before he attacks, so that way he can't discard cards and then use the effect. So he's at so there's 6. Now let's do this. Remove 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have to remove his creature, I guess. Because we only have 5 cards on our graveyard, so I guess we're getting life here. Yeah, we only have 5. Okay. Well, we're doing this so that he can't draw cards off Wind Robber. So after the Wind Robber attack, we go up to 3 cards in our graveyard. And technically that means he can't counter our Extinction now. Unless he has like a negate or something. Alright. And now if he has the what is it? I think it requires you to pay an additional 3 mana if we play a 4 mana spell here. So Flamer's Rider. I think we just hold up Cling here. We're gonna win the race because we have a lifelinker now. So he's hitting us for 2. We're hitting him back for 2. Now we're hitting him for 4 and gaining 2. So his Wind Robbers are doing no damage to us. The only thing Wind Robber now is doing is milling cards. And he doesn't, Wind Robber has no effect because we cleaned our graveyard. Sure, we take 2. We could even use Cling, I believe, this turn too, because he hits us for another 2 more cards in the graveyard. So I think no, it's not active yet. Never mind. We need 1 more. All right, let's just draw a card, I think. We could also put counters on Crawling Baron. Crawling Baron counters is more mana efficient, but I think I need some draw here. Ooh, that's a good card. That gives us instant speed removal to target our graveyard. So if we play something like so for example, right here, we could play, let's attack first because we're going to call out Odd. We could play Extinction Event. If he plays Drumline Lock, we can instant speed remove our graveyard so you can't counter Extinction. We have 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 of it would be used. So that gives us 3. So we can exile 2 cards of our graveyard. Is that enough? That might be, yeah, that should be enough. So then we go to 3. But I also want him to cast this Loris before I play Extinction, huh? I mean, like I said, we're winning the race 17 to 12. I mean, let me see. What could be the worst case scenario for us here? He brings us down to 14. Then we bring ourselves back up to 16. If he attacks us with the robbers, he gets to technically then start activating it. So I think we want to kill 1, and then we could cling our graveyard. Yeah, and then we could use Mazemind Tome. Actually, that's a little better, yeah. So kill 1, we could use Cling to Dust, exile our graveyard, and then we could use Mazemind Tome to draw a card. So that actually is a better play. And there we go. He casted Loris, so perfect for us. We're wanting him to cast Loris here, so that way we can Extinction Event his whole board, because now everything is odd. So let's get rid of this so he can't bring anything back. We gain some life here. We're wanting him to play Loris, and that's what we were holding Extinction Event for. I mean, yeah, we have 2 of them, but we don't want to just waste them in case one of them gets countered. We don't want to waste them. All right, mill 2 cards. Sure. Fable Passage. Sure. Let's draw a card. I'm sure he has Into the Stories. I'm sure he has a couple of Into the Stories in his hand that he can't use. All right, let's attack first because we're going to Extinction the board here. See, like I said, we're winning the race because now he's at 8. Tap our colorless mana, whatever. He can't counter this unless he has, even if he has a flyer thing, we have 4 mana, so he can't even do it. Never mind. Honestly, the one that requires, oh, there we go. We beat rogues. There we go. Cling to Dust won us the game. And there we go. We made it to Diamond with this deck. This deck is pretty darn good.
Hey, YouTube. Welcome to the Sideboard Guide. As you just saw, we played a few matches with the deck, and we beat, obviously all the top-end decks here. You know, we played against, what is it, Food Deck, we beat them. We played against Gruul, we played against Red, we played against Rogue, we played against Selysna Adventure, we played against that, Mono Blue Shark deck or whatever. I guess the only one we didn't play against is the Doom Foretold deck, but we played against pretty much all the top end decks, and we held up our own and, you know, beat them pretty easily. So it's a pretty nice deck. Like I said, the deck is I think it's like 14-4 in ranked. And then we also won on another like 3 or 4 matches outside of ranked. So we're something like 17, 18-4 or something like that. So that's a pretty good win rate. We're a little over 80% win rate. So here's the deck, you know. I mean, 14-4 in ranked is pretty good. 78% win rate. That's an amazing results, you know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, my next deck would be, it's gonna be like the Gruul Monsters deck. So we have a 3-0 and a 4-2. But yeah, 14-4 in ranked, and then we won another 3 or 4 outside of ranked. We're something like 17, 18-4. That's pretty good. So pretty solid deck so far. But yeah, so you saw the matches, we beat all those top end decks, and let's go ahead and get to the sideboard guide. So if you decide to take this outside of best of one, how would you sideboard and all that, you know what I mean? So, and we have a sideboard, so you can play this in best of 3 if you want, but like I said, in the matches you saw, we're playing this as a best of 3, but it should be very good in best of 3 as well, because we just clearly beat those decks in best of 1 easily, and then after sideboarding we can easily just trim or cut our decks to be better against them, you know what I mean? Like against Gruul, we could bring in like Shadow's Verdicts, you know, Hardest Axe. Against, you know, Control, we have, you know, Hand Disruption, stuff like that. So it should theoretically be good in best of 3 still. But if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button, drop some comments down below. Tell me what you think about the deck, if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed the gameplay, the sideboard guide. Drop some comments down, you know. Follow me on Twitch. So you'll get to see me stream these decks live. In the description, you'll have the link to the Stream Decker, so you can export this to Arena easily. You'll have the link to my Twitch. You can follow me, watch me live. But yeah, start off by hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. So let's get into the sideboard guide. All right, so we're gonna do it for roughly 4, maybe 5 decks here. So the first one, obviously, you're gonna see Gruul. No matter where rank you're in, you're probably gonna see Gruul. And so against Gruul, what we like to do is we like to bring in cheap interaction removal, keep them off their Great Henge, maybe keep them off Embercleave, you know, just keep their board clear so they can't really kill us, buy time, drop Ugin, and win the game that way. So if you're playing against Gruul, what I like is, I like the 2 Hardest Axe, I like the Epic Downfall, the 2 Shadows Verdict, and the Airbow. So that's what? 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I mean, you could bring in Agonizing Remorses to pick away their hand, but it could also get in your way. So bringing in 6 removal hopefully should help you out here. And so against Gruul, what I don't like is, obviously, I do not like Cling, because their graveyard doesn't matter. They don't care about their graveyard. We don't care about their graveyard. So we cut both Cling to dust here. I also don't really like Nightmare against them, because yes, sure, it can kill, what is it, the Edge Wall and Brush Fire, but that's all it can kill. The token's not really worth it, because it's just a kind of a free card. So I don't really like Nightmare here in this matchup. So I'll usually cut the 3 Nightmares off against them. And I end up cutting 1 Massacre Worm, because like I said, Massacre Worm doesn't really do much against this matchup. They don't really run too many creatures with less than, 2 power. The ones that they care for have, what is it, Love Struck's a 5/5, Bone Crusher's a 4/3, Mammoth's a 3/3, Questing Beast is a 4/4. So this doesn't really do very much against that. So we cut one of these. So once again, if we're playing against Gruul, we cut 2 Cling to Dust, we cut 3 Nightmares, and 1 Massacre Worm. We bring in 1 Epic Downfall, 2 Hardest Axe, 2 Shadow's Verdict, and 1 Erebos. And obviously, like I said, Epic Downfall and Heartless Act, 2 mana removal. Shadow's Verdict, clear, like, it kills everything in their deck. So, and exile. So bring that in. Another interaction with life gain. So this is a cheap interaction removal with life gain. And so that's why we bring this in. So that's against Gruul. Now if we're playing against Food deck, it's kind of the same concept. It's you have to bring in cheap interaction removal, keep them off their big cards, and then buy your time for Ugin so you can eat minus and exile their board. So once again, it's pretty much the same strategy. We're taking out the 2 Cling to Dust here, we're taking out the 3 Nightmares, and we're taking out the Massacre Worm here. But it's somewhat a little different, but also somewhat similar. We actually going to take out all the Massacre Worms here, so 2, 5, 6, 7. And against them, what we do is we bring in 1 Epic Downfall because it exiles Troll King for 2 mana. It exiles Wicked Wolf, which is key because Wicked Wolf could become indestructible. So this is huge against Wicked Wolf. We bring in 2 Heartless Acts, so that's 3 cards. We bring in, so this is the difference. So we bring in the Heartless Acts, but the difference here is we bring in Agonizing Remorses. So we bring in 4 Agonizing Remorses because we want to hit their top curve. They're a little more top curvy than Gruul is, with Troll King, with what is it, that the creature that fights when it comes into play. So we bring in 3 Agonizing Remorses. I don't like the 4 Agonizing Remorses. I like 3 Agonizing Remorses. I don't want to draw this late game and then it just stays in my hand and doesn't do anything. So you could bring in 4 if you like, but I like it as 3. It's just, I don't know, my preference. So we have 2, 3, 6. We remove 2, 5, 6, 7. And the last card I like to bring in is actually a Shadow's Verdict. It doesn't hit their top curve, but luckily we can use Agonizing Remorse, Epic Downfall, Heartless Act to take their top curve. That I do like to bring in 1 Shadow's Verdict. You could bring in also Erebos here and make it a 61 card, which is perfectly fine. And the reason why I say this is because it does -1/-1 counter, so it goes around Wicked Wolf. And a 61 card versus 60 card deck, it doesn't really make that much a difference. So cut 2 Cling to Dust, cut 3 Nightmares, cut 2 Massacre Worms, bring in 3 Remorses, bring in 1 Epic Downfall, bring in 2 Heartless Acts, bring in 1 Shadow's Verdict, and 1 Erebos Intervention. That's against Gruul. So that's Gruul. Now if we're playing against a Doom Foretold deck, you pretty much cut all your removal in a sense. You cut the removal that doesn't matter. So in this case, we're going to cut, our Eliminates, doesn't do anything. We're going to cut our Extinction Events, doesn't do anything in this against them. We cut out our removal, dead removal, doesn't do anything. We cut the Massacre Worms, it doesn't do anything. Because they don't really run creatures. The only creatures they run is what, Skyclave Apparition and Yorion. What is that? What is Extinction Event, Massacre Worm going to do against them? Then so that's what, 2, 6, 7, 8. So what I like to bring in against them is literally 4 Agonizing Remorse, 2 Duress, and 2 Necromancias. So the rest, obviously, in Agonizing Remorse, we want to take away their spells. They're pretty much all primarily spells. We cut those. So we take those out of their hand. They're powerful cards. Doom Foretold, Elspeth Nightmare. We take out Agonizing Remorse. We take out Yorion. And then the Necromancia is to call out their key cards. Like if we say we're playing against the Doom Foretold and we don't want to deal with Elspeth Nightmare, so they can't take away our Ugin, we call out Elspeth Nightmare, or we call out Doom Foretold, or we call out their draw spells or their whatever. That's what it's there for, to call out whatever you need. And we're cutting our removal, so we don't need any of that stuff. So once again, cut 2 Eliminates, cut 4 Extinction Events, 2 Massacre Worms, bring 4 Agonizing Remorse, 2 Duress, and 2 Necromancia. That's against Doom Foretold decks. So now let's say what is another deck you might see? Obviously Rogues. You're definitely going to see Rogues. I guarantee you'll see Rogues. So against Rogues, what we want to do is cheap interaction removal, escape mechanics, and try to win off that. So against Rogues, I do love Cling to Dust. I really love Cling to Dust. I do like Duress and Agonizing Remorse, but I don't like it maxed out, because if they cast, say, 1 or 2 of their creatures and you start drawing Duresses and Agonizing Remorse, you're just going to get outrushed. You're just going to die just to the creatures that they have in play. So be careful when you bring in these. But like I said, I don't bring them either I bring one in or I bring the other in. I don't bring both of them in. It, like I said, it could get in the way. So you like cheap interaction Heartless Axe, you like those, and you like Erebos, obviously. Shadow's Verdict is very too costly against them, so I would not recommend this. All right, so if we're playing against rogues, what are we cutting? What are we bringing in? I don't really like Black Paragon here because a lot of the rogues that matter are going to be flyers. It's like the Thought Thief, the Wind Robber, and then obviously they're not attacking with the crab anyway, so the only thing you can really kill here is the what is it, the guild enforcer. So this could only really kill guild enforcer, so it's not very great. And then, like, I mean, yeah, you get to attack for 3, but that's not very great either. So I do not like Black Paragon here, so I cut 2 Black Paragons, easily cut those. I do cut 2 extinction events because it's a 4-mana exile effect, and that could also be bad if you draw this and they just counter it with 2 mana. So I do cut 2 extinction events. I cut 1 solemn. Once again, it's a top curve. I cut an Ugin and I cut 2 massacre worms. So if we're playing against, once again, if we're playing against rogues, we cut 2 paragons, that's 2 cards, 2 extinction, 4 solemn, 1 solemn, 5, 2 massacre worms, 6, 7, 1 Ugin, 8 cards. So we cut 8 cards against them. We bring in 1 cling to dust. We bring in 4 agonizing remorse, that's 5. We bring in 2 heartless axe, 6, 7, and we bring in 1 Erebos intervention, 8. So we bring in cling obviously because it's for the escape card. We want to have more access to it so we can escape more often. I like Agonizing Remorse over Duress just for the fact that it can take away their creatures. So this could take away their spells and their creatures, and that's what I like it. Obviously, Duress is a 1-mana spell versus 2-mana spell, but I like this because it could get rid of their creatures. If they have a bunch of, counter spells and draw spells in their hands, what are they going to do? They can't win without their creatures, and this is why this works. Obviously, this could also hit their counter spells and their draw spells. So that's why I like Agonizing Remorse over Duress in this matchup. Hardest Act, obviously cheap interaction removal, kill their creatures, keep them off creatures, less mill against you. And then Erebos Intervention, it kills their creatures, and worst case scenario, you can exile your own graveyard, so it turns off all their rogue effects. So that's what I do against rogues. Once again, I take out 2 Black Paragons, I take out 2 Extinctions, 1 Solemn, I take out 2 Massacre Worms, 1 Ugin, I bring in 1 Cling to Dust, 4 Agonizing Remorse, 2 Heartless Axe, and 1 Erebos Intervention. So that's against the rogue deck. So we did Gruul, we did Food, we did Doom, we did rogues. I guess the last thing that you would probably see maybe would be like a red deck, I mean, it's kind of gaining popularity. So that's probably the next other deck you might see. So against red, I think we're pretty good against red just for the fact that we have so much removal. We have some life gain in the deck. Oh, I guess you might also see Teamer Ramp, but so against red, it's pretty easy. You just bring in, Heartless Axe, Shadow's Verdict, Erebos. You bring in 5 cards because they're not really running too many. They don't have burn spells really, so you bring in removal. So 2 Heartless Axe, 2 Shadow's Verdict, 1 Erebos. And what I cut against them, I definitely cut Cling to Dust. It doesn't do anything against red decks. Just cut those, don't do anything. So cut 2 Cling to Dust. I cut 1 Ugin, that's 3. I cut 1 Solemn, that's 4. And I cut 1 Massacre Worm, that's 5. We trim some of our top curve with Solemn, Ugin, and Massacre Worm. And then obviously the Clings don't really do anything. And we bring in cheap removal, 2 Heartless Act, 2 Shadow's Verdict, and 1 Erebos. Keep them off their creatures. They can't play Embercleave. There's not very much burn cards in their deck. The only burn cards would be like Shock and I guess a Bone Crusher, Stomp. So if you keep them off their creatures, they can't win the game. So that's what I do against red. And the last deck I'm gonna do is the Teamer Ramp decks. So against the Ramp decks, this is the main reason why I have Necromentia. It's this reason. So we bring in Necromentia against the Teamer Ramp decks. So against the Teamer Ramp decks, they're not going to be playing creatures. They're trying to ramp into an Ugin. I guess they play the big dragon, which is fine, but they're not really playing it. Unless you're playing against the Obosh deck, it'll be a little bit different. So I think you'll most likely play against the Obosh deck. So what you do is you cut 2 Cling to Dust here. I don't like the Paragons. You could cut 2 Paragons here. I'm not a fan of this, especially since we're bringing Agonizing Remorse anyways. So I cut 3 Nightmares here. And I keep them Extinctions because they're playing all odd creatures. And I cut 2 Massacre Worms. So 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. what you want is 4 Agonizing Remorses, 2 Duress, that's 6, 2 Necromentia, 7, 8, and you could bring in like Epic Downfall or Heartless Sacks, 2 Heartless Sacks. So you could bring, so 4 Agonizing Remorse and Duress, pick off their Genesis Ultimatums, pick off their Dragons, pick off their Ramp, whatever you want, Ugin, take those out of their hand. Heartless Act, you want to kill their Edge Walls, you want to kill their Love Strucks, you want to kill something like that so they can't play Henge against you. Necromancy, you call out Genesis Ultimatum, you call out the Dragon, you call out Henge, you call out whatever you need to call. So you just call those out. So once again, I cut 2 Clean to Dust, 2 Paragons, 3 Nightmares, 2 Massacre Worms, and then we bring in 2 Duress, 4 Agonizing Remorse, 2 Heart of Sacks, and 2 Necromancias. So those are the decks you're mostly going to see in Standard. You'll see some random fringe decks, here and there. But, if you need a specific sideboard guide for something, go ahead and drop a comment down below, and I'll go ahead and make you a sideboard guide, hopefully, for that deck. But yeah, so like I said, we just played against some of the top tier decks. We're 14-4 ranked, and then we've played a few games out of ranked. This has a little over like a 80% win rate out of 20 matches. That's pretty good. 20 matches and we've only lost 4. That's pretty darn good. So, but yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like button, drop some comments, check out my Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I stream live. The next deck I will be doing a deck tech on is going to be this Gruul Monsters deck, but this is a historic deck, but this is a very great deck. It took us to Mythic, 300, top 300 Mythic. So we used the standard mono, so we used the mono black deck to get into Mythic, and then we used the Gruul deck, or no, we used and then we used the Gruul deck to rank up in Mythic. We need to practice historic because of the qualifier. So that's going to be the next deck. But yeah, this deck took us into Mythic, so very solid deck. But go ahead, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for joining me.